Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 20th of September 2023. So, are you enjoying the weather at the moment, especially if you're in, well, I don't know how extensive it is, but here in southern England at least, it has been very wet, very windy and very wild. We were out in it during a portion of the day, and at times it is almost like someone was holding a shower going straight into your face kind of thing, because the rain was coming down horizontally. And a little bit of a first, and I bet you've never seen this, or let me ask you the question: have you ever seen a water feature on a double-decker bus? Because that's exactly what Lorraine and I witnessed today. We went into the local town here on one of those open-topped double-decker buses. Surprisingly, there wasn't many people on the top level. Don't know why, apart from the fact that it was absolutely chucking it down. And whenever we were going round a bend, the water would come off the top deck and come running down the stairs onto the floor at the bottom. So we had our only, very own little water feature on the bus. So it's the first time I've ever seen that, to be honest with you. Anyway, one thing that we're strangely accused of, is we are called mad, we're called conspiracy theorists, all the names. I don't really need to go into it. You know what I'm talking about. But we're just called absolutely crazy because we didn't have a certain thing, if you know what I mean. And we tend to think, well, it's them who are the crazy ones having the thing because, well, the circumstances are, quite honestly, that it was rushed through in double quick time. And as far as I'm concerned, it was just a risk assessment, simple risk assessment, something that was rushed through for another thing that personally I didn't deem to be too much of a threat. So it was a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. And yet so many people call the likes of us conspiracy theorists, or just absolutely mad. It's one of the most mind-boggling parts of the last 3.5 years, wasn't it? But there's a couple of things. Next time you're accused of that, you're called a conspiracy theorist because you choose not to, basically trust the mainstream. You can first of all show them this little meme. I think that demonstrates it pretty well. And secondly, I'm currently working my way through this book. It's taken me quite a long time to read because it's very, very thick. And I am getting there, though. I'm sort of probably 2/3, 3/4 of the way through. But normally I'm so busy, but when I've got a bit of time off like we have at the moment, I'm able to sort of sit down and do a bit of reading. That's why I haven't been doing so many videos. So this is 180 Degrees by Fergus O'Connor Greenwood. And if you don't read any other part of this book, I would suggest you read this little section. So it starts on this page, which is 465, and that's where you want to start from. Trust me, I'm a doc. And read it through to that, Kneel by Mouth, that one there, and that is 482, so it's pages, whatever I said, sort of 465 to 482, so it's not even 20 pages. And basically it details all the reasons why you wouldn't want to have that thing. And if people are accusing you of being, the anti-V thing, the conspiracy thing, you can even sort of maybe print off those 20 pages and put it in a binder and give people the thing to read, or you could just sort of buy them this book, even better. But if you don't read any other part of that book, read those 20 pages or less than 20 pages, and then let other people around you read it. And by the time they've done so, they will understand exactly where you're coming from, where the likes of us are coming from. Unless they're so closed-minded, of course, that either A, they don't sort of read it at all, or B, sort of read it and then still have the cognitive dissonance and think, oh no, that's just a load of old rubbish. Well, it's not, because the guy there, the author, is very well researched. He's researched this endlessly, and the people he quotes, again, are sort of top-notch in their field, know so much about this subject, it's untrue. So anyway, if you've got that book and you haven't read it or read up to that section, do read up to go there and read that, and you'll find it very enlightening. And if you haven't got the book, I can highly recommend it, because it basically just goes into, well, I would sort of say, if you get this book and you read it all the way through, by the time you get to the end, you'll know exactly how this world really works. I can't rate this book highly enough, but if you can't read it all, at least read those few pages that I've mentioned. And in fact, what I might do, obviously I'll have to get the author's permission, and I'll have to find someone who's good at voiceovers. I do have one guy in mind, a guy called Gary, who may well be up for this, but again, if we get the author's permission, I could perhaps just get Gary or some other voiceover person just basically to read out those few pages, and I'll make it into a little video, and then it can be shared, obviously not on this platform probably, but shared far and wide on other platforms. So that's a little project I might have to work on. We'll see how things go on that. But yeah, like I say, read those few pages, get people who doubt you in your position to read those few pages, and hopefully it might wake a few people up and get them to understand why we're so against that certain thing. So, gonna leave it. Back soon. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.